offering an excellent reading program that gets our reception children reading within 6 weeks, and examination practice packages tailored to prepare our learners sufficiently for final exams, helping your child make the passing choice to holistic education. A school that believes in helping struggling students get up to speed, providing for the mind, body, and soul. Enroll your child in any of the grades from baby class to grade 12 and enjoy flexible payment plans with up to 5% discount for payments made during school holidays. For information, call 0979 404809. Gospel Outreach Christian Academy. Excellence through Christian education. Scan the QR code to apply.
Happy New Year and a good evening to you. Welcome to the Muvi TV News. The headlines. Archbishop Banda maintains silence during DEC questioning. Truck Drivers Union calls for boycott of DRC routes over killings. Collapsed classroom raises safety concerns at Kapisha Primary School. Kasama Acting Mayor Felix Musonda dumps PF, backs HH and UPND. Welcome, my name is Kondwelani Jose with the detail. A section of Catholic faithfuls and supporters of the former ruling Patriotic Front on Monday morning gathered at the Cathedral of the Child Jesus in Lusaka to offer prayers for Archbishop of Lusaka, Reverend Dr. Alik Banda, ahead of his appearance before the Drug Enforcement Commission. The church was filled to capacity with worshippers held a special mass before marching to Zamcom Trust, where they were intercepted by police officers who restricted the procession, allowing only the Archbishop, 7 priests, and his lawyers to proceed to the DEC offices. After a brief standoff, police and church leaders reached an understanding, paving the way for Archbishop Banda to appear before investigators. The procession attracted several senior opposition figures, among them PF Acting President Kevin Lubinda, Chishimba Kambwili, Brian Mundubile, and Socialist Party President Mr. Fred Membe.
Scores of Catholic members and former ruling party members stand up to show solidarity to Lusaka's Catholic Archbishop Alik Banda, who was summoned to appeal before the Drug Enforcement Commission over the ownership of the motor vehicle which was given to him. Cathedral of the Child Jesus was full to capacity by different members of the church and some politicians who came to show solidarity. After the Mass, the members together with the Drug Enforcement Commission office but were met with the police just few meters from the Drug Enforcement Commission head office.
No one is proceeding. Somebody else. So, should we take the bishop back? Who's leader? Should we go back with that? Is someone to go to get? Okay, you can go. To retire, yes. And we're gonna move when we are back as human beings.
After confrontation with the crowd, police only allowed the Archbishop with his lawyers to proceed to the commission. Meanwhile, the Archbishop of Lusaka remained silent during be confirmed by Drug Commission's Public Relations Office.
The Drug Enforcement Commission, through its Anti-Money Laundering Investigations Unit, AMLU, has formally warned and cautioned His Grace, the Archbishop of the Diocese of Lusaka, Dr. This follows ongoing investigations into alleged unlawful possession of a Toyota Hilux motor vehicle registration number ALF 7734 being property of the Zambia Revenue Authority ZRA. As of the matter are that Dr. Banda, on dates unknown but between 22nd April 2021 and 27th December 2023, did have in his possession a motor vehicle Toyota Hilux with registration number ALF 7734, property reasonably suspected to have been unlawfully obtained from ZRA. Contrary to Section 319A of the Penal Code, 87 of the laws of the Republic of Zambia. The public may wish to note that when granted an opportunity to explain how he assumed possession of a said motor vehicle, Dr. Banda chose to remain silent. The Commission will update the nation regarding the outcome of the investigations at an appropriate time. I thank you.
Muvi TV News in Lusaka.
The Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, has confirmed that Archbishop of Lusaka, Reverend Dr. Alik Banda, remained silent during questioning after being summoned to explain the acquisition of a motor vehicle from the Zambia Revenue Authority. In a statement issued by DEC Public Relations Officer Alan Tamba, the Commission says it has since issued a warn and caution statement to the Archbishop before releasing him. Earlier, scores of Catholic faithfuls escorted Archbishop Banda to the DEC offices in a show of solidarity, joined by leaders from the Patriotic Front, the Socialist Party, and other political groupings. The summoning of the Archbishop has attracted mixed reactions, particularly from the former ruling Patriotic Front, which has described the move as a political witch hunt.
The Drug Enforcement Commission, through its Anti-Money Laundering Investigations Unit, AMLU, has formally warned and cautioned His Grace, the Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Lusaka, Dr. Alik Banda. This follows ongoing investigations into alleged unlawful possession of a Toyota Hilux motor vehicle registration number ALF 7734 being property of the Zambia Revenue Authority ZRA. Particulars of the matter are that Dr. Banda, on dates unknown but between 22nd April 2021 and 27th December 2023, did have in his possession a motor vehicle Toyota Hilux with registration number ALF 7734, property which is reasonably suspected to have been unlawfully obtained from ZRA. Contrary to Section 319 of the Penal Code, Cap 87 of the laws of the Republic of Zambia. The public may wish to note that when granted an opportunity to explain how he assumed possession of the said motor vehicle, Dr. Alik Banda chose to remain silent. The Commission will update the nation regarding the outcome of the investigations at an appropriate time.
Kasama Acting Mayor and Deputy Mayor Felix Musonda has defected from the Patriotic Front and declared his support for President Hakainde Hichilema ahead of the 2026 general elections. Mr. Musonda has also endorsed UPND candidate Baiwell Simposia in the January 29 Kasama mayoral by-election. He crossed the floor together with Musowa Ward Councillor Joseph Chitembo and was officially received by Presidential Advisor Levi Ngoma.
Councillors did to endorse Mr. Simposia as the to endorse Mr. Simposia as the fit mayoral candidate for this forthcoming by-election. Besides, I confidently endorse His Excellency, the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for this year's August January. Why have I gone this way? Simply because of his sound policies and the more and the many social interventions that his government, his youth-friendly government is doing in this country. Tuishile kuno mukuluikana, tuishile kuno mukubona kuti development na ifwe wakwata. Tuishile kuno kuma personal interests, saving yomuntu, turefa na ifwe kuno kasama kukachite develop. Tule support telefi, tule mwana kwe wati, kumbio kwa ala support tata upishi, vejantu ule support tata upishi. The opinion ya abantu bambi, that's my opinion. Everyone is it.
Parents and guardians in Luwingu district of Northern Province are raising concern after a classroom block at Kapisha Primary School collapsed, leaving the school in a state of disrepair. The incident has heightened fears over the safety of learners and the school's ability to reopen as scheduled on January 12. In an interview with Muvi TV News, some parents lamented that the collapse of the classroom block caused significant damage, making it uncertain whether the school will reopen on time. Another parent, Xavier Matipa, expressed concern that the incident also led to extensive damage to classroom desks. Meanwhile, social scientist Innocent Kolala has questioned why the area member of parliament has not utilized the disaster management component of the Constituency Development Fund to commence rehabilitation works at the school, which is located within the Central Business District.
Parents and guardians in Luwingu in the northern part of Zambia are sounding the alarm after a classroom block at Kapisha Primary School collapsed. The incident has raised concern about the safety of the learners and the ability of the school to reopen on the 12th of January as scheduled. In an interview with Muvi TV News, some parents lament that the collapse of the classroom block has caused significant damage and it may not be possible for the school to reopen on time.
Iyo abana balambo ku teleport ku school kasitwe rombo buteko badie mwe kwa na shonse mbali sha buteko sha fulisha bupali ya masanso baikara pamu wangu baloleke shapo libe school telabuka baka school ba teleport bambyo kusambira pantu lino school li school likalamba muno muri wingu pamonga
paka Kapisha Primary School ichi amupamba chitike iskulu lino kubuka patovu nombe school lina lifimbuka tatukwete na bana iskulu lya shingulukwana emishingi sana ya muluwingu kasha bana basambira pano ndesubira balifika nangu 3000 4000 so nombapa natukwatovu afya iskulu lya lifimbuka kumfula ilelo ichibipisheko iskulu lya yapona wanu ama desk yapona ya fimabo fyapona na pama desk na malata nayo yaonaika kanshi fingi fyonaike pano pa skulu tekwe bati chibumba fecheka na maplanga efe tuleka bila ama deski imisomali amalata kanshi ubwafya buli pano bukalamba sana
tatuishiro fe baka rasambirira pano pa bafika tichina randa tini ni 2 block ero yakwata ma class almost 4 so turaromba kona chimbi yako bacha kwe bati ama class yabako nangu ya 3 nangu 4 no kuti tubale poko romba baturoni depo limbi twakwata obusanso obwakuponeno ne chikurwa.
The parents are therefore calling on the authorities to take immediate action to rehabilitate the school and ensure that the learners can return to a safe and conducive learning environment.
Romba kuli mwe buteko bwesu ukuti mwinda tororekesha po mutu wafweko pali uyu mulimo because inatwalekeresha tiyo tororere CDF iseteshani natakuri amenso ya kutwafwa kwena tulirira sana mayinsa yali kwa bana besu kubarasambirira.
iskulu batuwafirisheko mukwanguvyanya libe na 12 iyo taila afika abana abakwate komo akwika.
Social scientists Innocent Kolala questioned the lack of action by the area member of parliament, asking why the disaster management component of the constituency development fund had not been utilized to initiate rehabilitation works at the school.
Problems which might be caused by the policy of free education, whereby children are supposed to be provided with desks. That money is there in the Constituency Development Fund, whereby children are supposed to have access to a classroom block like this one. Money is there allocated in the Constituency Development Fund. But unfortunately, Kapisha School, which is in the CBD of Luingu, it has had these challenges for some time. For your own information, the population for Luingu CBD is such a huge population, which the area member of parliament, together with the Constituency Development Fund Committee, they are supposed to look into this.
The Sustainable Development Goals, emphasizing the importance of quality education for all, ensuring that all individuals, regardless of their background, ability, or socio-economic status, have access to quality education. Grace Mabo, Muvi TV News, Luingu District in Northern Province.
The United Truck Drivers and Allied Workers Union of Zambia, UDAWUZ, announced its full support for the International Transport Workers Federation, IDF Zambia chapter's demand for the immediate protection of drivers and says it will lobby for a regional boycott of routes into the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC. The move follows a surge in what the union has described as unacceptable and barbaric attacks on Zambian truck drivers operating in the DRC. UDAWUZ is calling on the ITF and its more than 700 global affiliates to take a firm stand on the matter. The union says drivers are being killed while the world watches and has called for urgent measures to guarantee their safety. It is also demanding that DRC authorities secure the transport corridors, warning that failure to do so should result in the closure of the routes. UDAWUZ is further calling for immediate and visible security guarantees for all transport workers within DRC borders, though investigations and prosecution of those responsible for the recent killings and robberies and regional solidarity within ITF to prepare for a total boycott of DRC-bound cargo until safety benchmarks are met. The union notes that the transport industry is the backbone of the SADC economy, but says it cannot be sustained at the cost of workers' lives. UDAWUZ has also stated that it is ready to coordinate with regional partners to ensure that no more lives are lost due to what it terms silent diplomacy.
Lucky enough, convoy. Lucky convoy bafiro bamdonsa motoka. Lucky enough convoy hapa. Sikomunesu. Bagari 4. Sikomuna mutobere grass. Grass. Bamutobere grass, bamutobere grass. Kwisa mdonsa. Bamdonsa na mumpanga, foto wa pepe kaba. Bamutako rescue. Bamutura suspect.
Wao ni wa Kasumbalesa, mimi nawajua, nabebaga maneno kama madokumenti pale, mimi nawajua kama ni wawili.
Unataka kujua moyo mzuri.
Nikiona mimi nawajua wa Kasumbalesa wanatumika pale paka bebe.
Bebe.
Na huyu mwana anapita taxi hapo ni polisi, nafasi zote naenda naye watu wanamuona.
Kumbe vile. Ule motari yuko wapi?
Motari ni huyu hapo hivi.
Mbande huyu?
Yule pale.
Mbende na gari ndaona.
Ni
Mfanye muli yako
baada ya kutupeleka huko wapi kijiji cha mbele pale urudi gari tulikuwa ndio katuleta kuna njia panda
tangu saa ngapi?
Kutoka asubuhi
saa 12.
They are not saying boycotting or calling for a strike, but just boycotting to get into the Congo. And the best solution to this is to create dry ports along the corridors of Congo. That foreign transporters or foreign drivers drivers do not get into the Congo and be victims of criminality that is currently taking place. So Congo has to up their game, and we maintain our position. If Congo has failed to protect the drivers, to provide the needed security for poor drivers who do the best in order to see to it that Congo thrives, then these borders need to be closed. Let dry ports be created along the corridors that lead to.
On a Monday morning, a group of small-scale miners, commonly known as Jerobos, stormed the district commissioner's office in Chingola, seeking an audience on how they can be included on the list of beneficiaries of the Senseli $4 million fund. Some miners claimed they did not submit their names to their leaders due to mistrust. Chairperson of the small-scale miners, Gabriel Chipimo, has urged those who did not submit their details to exercise patience, saying modalities are being worked out to have them included. A few days ago, more than 4,000 small-scale and artisanal miners were earmarked to benefit from the $4 million secured from the licensed owners of Senseli mine.
Sanga bachingola chalenga tuise pano kwali abanesu abalesusha ati UPND leadership kyabufi eto bamufanye license yabene bamipere mpira kyabufi so balemi bepata so to ale guys tie ni mlembeshe muka kwa iliyonse kyabufi techi batukogema so lero basumina ati kubomba kwa president watu wafuisha watu kushinga mpira shaisa olo basala kanomba tulembeni era tulikitashuwa ati tulolele government oyo tontonganishanga batwala apa kuyangu salakata na mutu mosa kitako benefit ali umuntu patiro munangu tulebukisha February chiwa kuile mu 2020 twamulemba kali ko kaiteche isarembesha wa twalembele muri format skaishire nkulembesha olo lero bamoneka pali batisi ndetotera sana UPND leadership yonse na kuchwe mpala na investor esakamana aliyebomba byo tapano nga mu kitadisi.
Economist Kelvin Chesanga says Zambia's economy recorded significant growth in 2025, driven by improved macroeconomic stability, increased investor confidence, and strong performance in key sectors. In a statement made available to Muvi TV News, Mr. Chisanga noted that the mining sector, led by copper, remained the backbone of the economy, with increased investment and mine expansion boosting production, export earnings, and fiscal revenues. He said agriculture also played a critical role in supporting food security, rural incomes and employment, with improved access to inputs and irrigation enhancing output in key crops. According to Mr. Sanga, the manufacturing sector recorded steady growth, driven by agro-processing, construction materials, and value addition on copper products. Meanwhile, the ICT sector has emerged as a fast-growing contributor, improving productivity, connectivity, and financial inclusion.
Was quite a very interesting economic year for Zambia, especially reaching a number of key fundamental conditions. What we have seen working out in the case that we have stabilized a number of key economic variables. Much to this also, we had a very interesting appetite around investors' confidence, and also we basically also scored a very substantial, significant achievement around key priority sectors, with regards to the mining being the biggest basement in terms of what we basically produced. And what we have seen working out is that we have a number of key positive development that underscored the performance of last year, especially when we look also into a number of key fundamental aspects. Top of the line, as we have indicated again, the issue of mining, manufacturing, agriculture, and ICT. All these have shown a very important aspiration that need to be anchored in regards to the diversification agenda that we are able to witness from all these perspectives. And again, it's important to mention that Zambia's economy has reached that stabilization, equilibrium, which is basically vibrating with a very strong basement for growth in this year. And it's important to understand also that there is an important aspiration that we need to continuously work on policy reforms, ensuring that we get to have a stiff and aggressive grip around fiscal discipline, which is important. And again, we have to look into aspect of validation and many other aspects that should be able to be pointed from there. We understand very well that this is seeming to be an election year, which also requires that we need to also remain consistent on some of the key policy reforms that we have actually been able to embark on. And much to this, we need to scale into aspect of validation.
Southern Province Patriotic Front PF Chairperson Clement Likonge says he is disappointed with some senior members of the opposition party who joined in solidarity with Archbishop Alik Banda, who earlier today appeared before the Drug Enforcement Commission for interrogation. Mr. Likonge says the members who attended the event did so without the blessing of the party president, Robert Chabinga. Speaking in an interview from Siavonga, Mr. Likonge says the Archbishop was expected simply to present himself to law enforcement agency to clear his name, but instead turned the occasion into what he described as an unnecessary public display, including a march from the church to the DEC offices in Lusaka. He says such actions risk politicizing a matter that should have been handled respectfully and within the confines of the law.
Okay, we can start. Okay.
My name is Clement Likonge. I'm the provincial chairperson for Southern Province, PF. I'm very disappointed with what has actually happened today. On what is showing on the media, pertaining the Bishop Alik Banda. The Bishop Alik Banda was actually summoned by DEC so that he's interrogated. And then that was just a summon for one person. So I'm surprised that the so-called PF members are not even PF members. They're just masquerading as PF members. None of them is PF members, are PF members. And even those, the so-called Catholic members,
Scores of
Mr. Alik Banda, I think I'm very disappointed. This shows to it that there's no credibility that they want to show to the nation that DEC has got the mandate to interrogate anyone. And because of that, I actually have no confidence in all those leaders that are there. And I think because of lack of no confidence, and none of the members that are there are PF. All PF members are supposed to be authorized by our president, the Honorable Robert Chawinga. And Robert Chawinga has not assigned anyone to march in solidarity. So meaning all those who are showing there, who are showing their faces there, they are just on their own. They are not PF. They are just masquerading as PF. If they are not careful, the law will actually follow them. Thank you.
A 27-year-old bricklayer of Lusaka's Zivala South, Edward Banda, was on New Year's Eve sentenced to 3 months imprisonment with hard labor for possessing 29 pornographic videos on his phone. However, Lusaka magistrate Ida Piri suspended the entire sentence, noting that Banda had already spent 3 months in detention prior to his first court appearance. The magistrate warned Banda to refrain from repeating the offense, allowing him to return home. Banda faced 2 counts: possession of obscene materials tending to corrupt morals and compelling children to watch the videos. Evidence presented in court showed that the 29 videos were on Banda's phone, a fact he did not dispute, though he claimed he did not know who had placed them there. While the court found Banda guilty of possessing the pornographic videos, he was acquitted of the charge of compelling children to watch them, as the prosecution failed to produce witnesses linking him to the alleged act. During mitigation, Banda pleaded for leniency, citing the impact on his wife and child, and promised never to repeat the offense. Magistrate Piri acknowledged his plea and tempered justice with mercy, suspending the full 3-month sentence on condition that he avoids similar conduct in future. Acting Finance and National Planning Minister Chipoka Mlenga MP has expressed frustration with several commercial banks for failing to process payments to farmers despite the government having released the necessary funds. Addressing farmers at the Northern Province Provincial Administration, Mlenga acknowledged the frustrations caused by the delay, noting that many farmers who traveled from satellite depots felt unheard by local officials. He emphasized that President Hakainde Hichilema, being a farmer himself, understands their challenges and is committed to resolving the matter. The minister revealed that the government released the funds on 30th December 2025 and stressed that had the banks acted promptly, all farmers would have been paid by now. He reminded stakeholders that farmers are the backbone of the nation's food security and must be treated with urgency and respect. To resolve the bottleneck, Mlenga has personally committed to visiting the banks to inspect payment processes and ensure the funds reach the intended beneficiaries without further delay.
Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Finance, over the Nature and then the Rama Bank, she let them one. Nana banki na sanga abantu balipanse na sanga abantu balipanse abadi apabeke dia posho bashivetira eba accountant bangana n'ekipawo icha Food Reserve Agency ute twalitunenda pa 30 December indala mashayingira na muma account y'abantu bane nomba twale nicho betata mashejo mwandi yokupera abantu ngakwa bafulela ku indwa apa Mainda vai kelenda na moko lalo lelo akufesera tamuishiwe pantaba pereshe ile twalichero mara chumfwecho necho natira pitama na yaba inda isto mara foresha abantu bashinja do minister ni nani nala foresha ndana manashika na mumpere wa foresha tumfuane bane era limo kateka ngaya tanfio muntu inchito mwikalala ndati bamutantia pantu tabamutemene nambanga bakutantia wewe kuli abantu abafulesa tuwe boli kunyuye ulelo la new year kapitolo kese saina ishi muntu wa utachi lepewo abantu bafulesa wewe ikere kunyuye uledi ole mula chumfwe choba uyichi usawe ikeri apacha mboko na kutauko olubiro afwaye wa kusaina achi mboko wa blogu tusha anti wamperiwe so saina mna utalipo fachia kusha wa boss wa kutiwa so saina because you want funding at the boss one day, boss near our
Governance activist Choma Mochikoka has held 2025 as a solid year for Zambia's economy, citing a 5.6% growth average. Speaking to Muvi TV News, Mr. Mochikoka attributed the progress to gains in key sectors like mining and agriculture, with the government's consolidating gains theme driving the momentum. He also praised the government's economic stabilization efforts, noting the kwacha's strength against the US dollar at year end. Looking ahead to 2026, Mr. Mochikoka is optimistic, pointing to promising developments in energy, including Dangote's proposed thermal plant project. He says the country's energy sector is looking up. To further boost growth, Mr. Mochikoka urged incentives for manufacturers, saying this could be a game changer for Zambia's economy. Overall governance activist Choma Mochikoka expects 2026 to bring more prosperity and economic activity.
Many sectors, in the energy sector, it's true, though being a challenge, but we've seen great movements, in the energy mix, where a lot of solar plants are being constructed to add to the hydro that we use. Even the thermal, a lot of thermal plants, we are talking about the Mamba adding on to the grid. They are developing, talking of Aliko Dangote also, trying to develop a thermal plant. So see that this energy challenge also will come to an end. I think that has been the biggest challenge of the government. So as we look to 2026, I think the years coming ahead look bright, because all these gains now that have been gotten by putting good infrastructure, good structures, good policies. So when you look at 2026, it's a year that now the benefits, we feel, start trickling down to the masses, because a lot of things, good things, the structures have been put, fiscal policies, the well disciplined. Look at where the exchange rate is. It's stable, for almost the whole of the last quarter of 2025. And for the first time in the history, after many years, over perhaps 20 years, the Kwacha has closed the year on a strong note, where it kept on gaining instead of losing. Usually the Kwacha loses its strength as we get to the year end, as many people do a lot of imports and travel around. But this time around, we saw the Kwacha closing the year on a stronger note. So all these are indicators that President HH and his administration, they have put policies that are good for this country, that are making sure that this country economically grows. So as we go into 2026, we expect more growth economically, because many mines, the targets of the 1 million.
Marketeers at Woodlands Market have expressed concern about plans to relocate a bin near the restaurants, saying it will negatively impact their businesses. They worry that the new location of the bin will drive away customers and ultimately affect their sales. Mary P. has shared her concerns, stating that moving the bin will cause significant inconvenience for them. The marketeers allege that the decision to move the bin is coming directly from State House, which has fueled their frustration. They are urging that the bin be left in its current location, citing potential losses and disruptions to their operations. The marketeers hope that their voices will be heard and the decision reconsidered. That story item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, we take a look at the headlines once again. Archbishop Banda maintains silence during DEC questioning. Truck Drivers Union calls for boycott of DRC routes over killings. Collapsed classrooms raise safety concerns at Kapisha Primary School. Kasama Acting Mayor Felix Musonda dumps PF, backs HH and UPND. On behalf of the entire news team, my name is Kondwelani Jose. Good evening and blessed day.
Looking for a school with values-driven ethos and a firm belief in an all-encompassing Christian education for your child? Then look no further. At Gospel Outreach Christian Academy, we make the educational experience of your child as rewarding as possible. offering an excellent reading program that gets our reception children reading within 6 weeks, and examination practice packages tailored to prepare our learners sufficiently for final exams, helping your child make the passing choice to holistic education. A school that believes in helping struggling students get up to speed, providing for the mind, body, and soul. Enroll your child in any of the grades from baby class to grade 12 and enjoy flexible payment plans with up to 5% discount for payments made during school holidays. For information, call 0979 404809. Gospel Outreach Christian Academy. Excellence through Christian education. Scan the QR code to apply. Muvi Christian Academy is a girls-only boarding school located near Sandy Beach in Siavonga. Muvi Christian Academy is now enrolling for Form 1 and Grade 10 pupils. So all girls who have just completed their Grade 7 and Grade 9 exams must take this opportunity to receive high-performance Christian-based holistic education. Help your girl child reach their full potential. Call 0976 386184. When you think girl child education, think Muvi Christian Academy.